guys, welcome back. So in this video, we'll be learning about creating decision-making statements in Python programming. So decision-making statement is often called as conditional statement as well. So in Python programming, we have basically four types of conditional statement. The first one is if statement. The second we have if-else statement, and third we have if-elif if else statement, and fourth we have nested if statement. Okay, so these are the four major conditional statement in Python programming, and why we'll be learning about. Okay, so now let's get into my PyCharm editor, and I'll show you one by one how you can write if statement, when do we write, and if statement, and when we do not. Okay, so let's get into the editor. So I'm finally into my PyCharm editor. Now you can create a file for your program to run in your system and follow me step by step. Right, so let's start from the very first, which is if statement. Okay, okay, so first the syntax for if statement is we need to use a keyword which is if. So if is a keyword, and after that we need to have an expression or a condition to satisfy with. So let's suppose that is called a test expression, and after that we will be having statement to run. Okay, so this is the very basic syntax for using implementing if statement. Okay, so where if is a keyword, and the text expression should be a value or a value which needs to be satisfied, and if this statement is satisfied, then only the body of the if statement will get executed. Okay, so based on this syntax, let's create a very simple example. I'll just comment this both lines, and I'll write a program to determine if a number is positive or not. So let's write a program, determine a number is positive or not. Okay, so this is my question. So what I'll do is I'll simply create a variable num equals to 0, and I'll write my if statement. So I'll use if keyword. After that I'll give an expression or a condition to satisfy with, and okay, and let's print this. Okay. Okay, so this is my very basic program following that I have created a variable having the value 10, and also satisfied expression that which says that the value of num will be greater than 0. If it does, this would be printed is a positive number, and using the if keyword use for running my if statement. Okay, let's run this program. Okay, so now you can see 10 is a positive number, which is absolutely correct. Okay, so what happens here is so let's get into my syntax, and I'll show you line by line. So I'm using first the if statement, if keyword for that, and having a text expression. So which this is the expression which we need to satisfy. So if it is satisfying the statement, then the statement is correct and this is getting printed. So this is the very basic syntax of using if statement. Now let's suppose if we want to let's know that if this condition is not satisfied, what the program needs to do, right? So in that case, we need to use if else statement, which is the second part of the conditional statement. Okay, so for that, let's do like this. I'll simply use else, okay, and print the value num is not a positive number. Okay, and I'll run this program. So I'm getting that positive number only. Let's change the value of the num to minus 10. Minus 10 is okay. So it's coming as minus 10 is not a positive number. That means we run this. Okay, so that means this condition is not getting satisfied. That's why statement is not getting printed. Rather than it's coming into this else part and executing that this particular statement. Hence, it's coming as minus 10 is not a positive number. So the syntax of if else should be uh, like this. Okay. Okay, so then now we have our third part, which is if elif statement. Okay, so in this statement, the if elif statement gives you more flexibility of checking multiple expression before reaching to a point. That means if we have number of steps or number of expression to satisfy with, we need to come and use the elif statement. Okay, so let's make changes to this program. So this is the statement of if else statement. Okay, so I have made these changes to this program for using our if else statement. Do is we have I in the very beginning I have said that if elif statement is used when we have multiple statements or multiple condition to be satisfied. So let's suppose I'm writing a program where it also checks that the number given it's a zero or not. Okay, so in that case we need to use if elif statements. Okay, so what this program will do is first the cursor will go to this line and it will check if the number is greater than 0 or not. If this condition satisfies, okay, then it will simply go to this line and print the value and the program will exit. Okay, so if this condition also not satisfied, it will not directly go to this else part, but it will go to this elif part and also checks for the statement or the condition given here. If it is satisfied this statement, then the program will execute this line and the program will end. But let's suppose the both of these condition is not matching, like number is not greater than 0 and number is not equals to 0 also, then finally the program will execute the last statement and the program will end. So in this way we can use elif statement to satisfy multiple decision we have to make, and this will make the program more flexible. So let's run this program and I'll show you one example for this. So the first, let's make this num value to 10, which is greater than 0, and this line should get printed. Okay, so let's run this program. Okay, so I'm getting the correct value, which is 10 is a positive number. Okay, now let's make it 0, and this will this condition in this when the value num is 0, then it is getting equals to this. That means this condition is not satisfied. Then the cursor will move to L if statements and checks if it number is equal to 0 or not. If the number is equals to 0, then this statement should get printed. Okay, now the number is 0, so this statement should get printed. Okay, now let's run this program. Okay, this is coming as absolutely correct. So 0 is number is 0. Okay, so now let's make this to minus. That means none of this condition and this condition is getting validated. That means program will come to this point and it will end. Okay, so let's run this program and it is coming as minus 10 is not a positive number. Okay, so in this way we can use if elif statement. Okay, now the final part is nested if statement. That means that nested means you should be understanding that the two if statement is merged into one if statements to make. Okay, so now let's create in let's make changes to this program only, and I'll try to make you understand. For that, remove this if elif part. Okay. Okay, so nested if statement and if elif statement both are used when we have multiple conditions to satisfy. So now I have one condition here, that this number is greater than 0. Like we used in nest elif statement, that we are also checking if the number is 0 or not. In the same way, let's write one more if statement which is checking for the number is 0 or not. Okay, and we can print if it is getting satisfied. Okay, number is 0, else is positive, or else it is a negative number and not a negative number. That means we have two if statement. Okay, so the first if statement is this. Okay, and the second if statement is this. So when these two are merged, then it is called nested if statement. So nested if statement and if elif statements are both for checking multiple uh, conditions to be satisfied. So we can use this type of. So what this program will do, the first it will check if the number is 0 or not. If it is, it will execute this value, or else it will simply go to this. It will not go from here to and there in the else part and in the program. Rather, it will move to check if the number is 0 or not. If the number is 0, it will print this value, or else the program will move to else part and it will say no, it is a positive number. Okay, so but if this statement is not also getting satisfied, then the program lastly will come to this point and it will end. Okay, so let's check one by one. So I'll first make this as a positive number, and this line should get printed. So let's run this program. Okay, I'm getting that 10 is a positive number. Okay, and in the very same time, it's also checking this options as well, and it's also saying number is a positive, and also this statement is got to getting printed. That means in the it's checking both of this statement at the same time. So the 10 is not get is greater than 0, as well as is also checking if it is 0 or not. So if not 0, then it's also printing as positive number. So we are getting two different outputs for the same statement. Okay, so now let's make these two 0. Now this condition will not satisfy. Now it will check for this and give you the value number is 0. If it is also not 0, it will give you the value as positive. So in this case, if the number is equals to 0, it should get printed as number is 0. Okay, so then let's run this program again. Okay, so here we are making some mistakes. Why this is coming to this end part is we are only checking if the number is greater than 0 or not. So now we have given it as 0. That means it's not checking if it is equals to 0 or not. It's simply if this statement is not getting satisfied, and now it's coming to this point. So to come to this check, with what we need to do is we need to give it as an equal sign here. Then what we'll do here is it will also check if the number is greater than 0 or equals to 0. So if it is not greater than 0, that means it is equal to 0, and the cursor will come to this point and show number is a 0. So let's run this program. Yeah, so it's coming as number is a 0. Okay, and it's also printing this value, that is it's a positive number, because 0 is not a negative number also. Okay, so it's here both of these statement is getting run because this is satisfied both of this statement. Okay, now if I make this value to negative number like -10, then both of these statement will not get satisfied, and this will come to this an else statement. So minus 10 is not a positive number. Okay, so I hope it makes you understand that how we can use a conditional statement in our programs, and what how many types of conditional statement we have. Okay, and how we can use that. So for now, this is all, and we'll meet you in the next video. Thank you.